It's 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, so that means it's time for All Partners Meeting. Everybody excited?
Woohoo!
Using the shadows. Lisa's well lit. That's great. Kayla and Heather are working feverishly together. Jason Thompson's on a motorcycle. So
Did you say Lisa was lit?
Where they're supposed to be. So that's perfect.
Jay, did you say Lisa was lit? Jay?
Well lit. She's
That's what I thought you said.
Well
so
lit.
Early in the morning.
Yep. Perfect. Hey, sometimes a broker has got to do what a broker's got to do. So Welcome everyone. Hey, I wanted to make sure. I don't know if you guys know what today is. Anybody know what
tax
today
day?
It's tax day.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I was having a good day.
Everybody's
Right
excited about that. So just in case it slipped up on hurry up and hustle and get them things in and mailed out before the deadline tonight. So I got my envelopes on my desk. Anybody else going to the post office today? Frank, you going?
I did mine in February.
You're an overachiever, David. Way to go.
I did mine.
I've seen. In 5.5 years of coaching, I've seen way too many messes that had to be cleaned up. And I tell you right now, my mission for everybody actually is to have all their taxes paid before you even cross over the new year. Believe it or not, you should be doing your quarterlies, all those kind of things. So as we get into more, if you've ever been to Aaron Wilson's class, he'll probably talk about that too. So go get them paid right now and get her done though.
Excellent. Perfect. Go get him done. So we're going to jump into some bucket fills. Who's got buckets to fill this morning?
I will. I'll fill Jay's bucket. Jay had a record month, and in the market centers, we grossed, I think, 20 agents last month in Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. We had 20 new family members. And honestly, guys, a lot to do just attraction. People are hungry to grow their business, get involved. And so it's just really exciting. Had 20 new family members join us last month. Great job, Jay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I will just piggyback on that. It's a team effort, and we got a great team. And now is the time. Like if you've been talking to an agent and they've been, I don't know, now's the time. Now is really the time to let's get them into a conversation with myself or some other leadership person, and let's see what we can do to get them over here and get them into your profit share tree. So perfect. Who else? Who else got a bucket to fill?
I'll go.
Go for it. Who's that?
It's Jill.
Perfect, Jill. Go for it.
I would like to fill the bucket of Colleen and Trisha. They are just absolutely amazing. I've been having issues with getting a check for an agent that I work with since that closed on July 2nd. And thank you so much to Trisha and lighting a fire under. I think we might actually get the checks today. So
woo, nice. Way to go, guys. Way to go, Colleen and Trisha. Who else? What else smiling family member has something, a bucket they'd like to fill?
I do.
All right, go for it.
So I have 3 buckets: Jay, Wendy, and Big Dan. Thank you for coming down this week. And Jay, yes, I agree with David. You have been phenomenal in helping to grow our office here in Sierra Vista. But it was really encouraging to see leadership come down, especially for the new agents. We love you guys, and we thank you for that support and look forward to seeing you even more.
Thank you, Kathy. I know Wendy was very excited. So, and Dan, it's nice. It's nice to put faces with names and build relationships. That's really what our company is all about. So that's a great opportunity. Thank you for that. Two more bucket fills.
Jay, I have one.
Go for it. Is this Donna Reed?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Donna Reed.
Hi. Yesterday, Angie McMahon helped me do the whole piece of command related to getting paid. And spent about 45 minutes because I'd been doing opportunities at a reasonable level and but still using a lot of .loop, and because she knows compliance so well, we spent some time going through how to use that program. Jesse had helped me with DocuSign one other time. Anyway, it was real helpful, and I know she's really busy and she squeezed me in, so I appreciated that.
Awesome.
I got one.
All right, who's this?
Jason Thompson. I'd like to fill Larry Miles' bucket. Yesterday we had our script and role play call, and he stepped in and took over the call and taught us a great lesson yesterday. Great job, Larry.
Nice. Way to go, Larry Hilliard. Perfect. All right, that's wonderful. Thank you, guys. Hey, I believe the antidote to a lot of the negativity around everywhere right now is gratitude. So as we fill buckets, that gives us a time to express our gratitude, not only to our fellow family members here, but just to people in general. Man, be nice. This is a time to be nice to people. So next up,
and Jay, before you move on, I just want to, because I want to fill Kathy Boss's bucket. She doesn't have a major report for us today, but I just want her to speak on, let everybody know what is going on with your task force. And we're very grateful for Kathy, you stepping up to the plate and being on it, because we know how, you don't have anything else to do in your life. So we do. I know it's an extra time, and we are thankful for you representing all of Arizona on the task force. So would you I know you and I talked yesterday, it's a small update. I think it's good for them to let them know that this is a real task force that's moving forward. So tell them what's going on.
Thank you, David. Yes, I am really humbled and excited to be a part of a group of agents in KW that are phenomenal. So I have to pretend like I have to kind of contain that excitement, but we've only had 2 meetings. We've had a national meeting and one region meeting, and those were just more introductory for the social equality task force. We have another meeting today at 1 o'clock, so I won't be at the ALC meeting, but this is where we're going to start getting into the grind of putting together some things on what we can do in our market centers. They were very receptive. I made a recommendation to have some local sociologists come in to to the market centers. I think that's very important right now to help us, and they were very receptive to that. And so we're putting together a list of local professionals, professors in different areas, so that we can make that happen. I was also tasked to serve on a sub-task force, and that one is diversity training and education. So even part of having a sociologist come in is going to fall into that category as well. There's been a lot of input from agents in Nevada and in Arizona in different market centers. They have texted me and reached out to me. So there's things there's change that's here. And I'm excited to be a part of it and to bring that into the state, and especially in our market center, because we all are part of that. We all are part of that change. So thank you.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Thank you. I'm so excited that our company is going down this road and really leading. We're in the front and leading the way. So thank you for that. And thank you for stepping up and leading as well. Appreciate that.
I can't wait to hear next week's report, because they're going to have their first real meeting today. So very excited, Kathy. And by the way, excited about your guests and getting that organized as well. That needs to be filled as well. Looking forward to us all getting better, and as a culture, I think it's going to help us all. So
awesome. All right, let's transition to our vendor partners. So I know I think I saw Heather in the room. So Heather, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to share with you a little bit of fun facts. I thought it was very interesting that came through my pipeline over here. So we have got so far, year to date, 23,000 more claims than last year at the same time. This is 147,726 claims. With that amount of being, I was going to give you this dollar amount of the claims paid amount.
Whoa!
Right? And 4,133 more appliance claims than we had expected through the end of May. And then in June, we had 2,100 more appliance claims than we had expected. So it's very interesting to see these numbers. I'm working 90 plus hours a week, trying to make sure that we're taking care of your people. Just remember, right now, this is not a normal time. Our hold times are very long. I'm just going to be honest with you. But anytime that you have any complaints from homeowners, if they're not being able to be serviced right away, then just let me know, because I can usually pop right on to their homeowner portal and within 5 minutes get a claim placed for them. More people are flushing toilets, they're blasting their air conditioning, they're using their appliances, therefore overloading their electrical. So we're just seeing quite an interesting time. So we're doing our best, and I appreciate the kindness. Can't tell you how many unkind people I'm running into thinking that theirs is more important air conditioning failure than anyone else's. So we're doing our best. So thank you for your patience with me and my company, and we'll get through this. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, Big Dan, thank you for the amazing training on, I think it was Monday. My days are all chiming together. I don't even know what day it was when we all got together, but really appreciate everybody who joined in to hear about HVAC, the certification, learning about seller coverage and how to utilize. Just really appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me your time. We appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Colleen, I saw you on the list. Do you have an update?
Good morning, Jay. I'll keep mine sweet and short. We're just really busy. You guys are reaching out. I want to thank Jill for her kind words and remind everybody that Trisha and I and Kathy and Jessica over at the KLP office are your liaisons for title security. If you ever have an issue, even if it's with a team that's not the one you use, you know, maybe you're out in Green Valley with a closing in Sahuarita, with a Green Valley escrow officer, we're here to help you. So we're very professional on that. We realize you could be in escrow with that very same unit next week, but we are solution people. So we're here to help you through any transaction. I'm getting a ton of orders, so you guys are definitely touching your clients. So thank you for your business. Just a reminder, if you're new and you're writing your contracts for the first time with Title Security, please remember to add /Catalina Title to your contract. You know, that gives them that VIP title service for no extra cost. And I'm always available 7 days a week. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Colleen. Trisha, do you have anything you need to add? Perfect. I saw your finger. You're muted. Trisha, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to tell you that we officially have a remote online notarization now. We'll be doing that through First American, and we will have that locally as well. So I'll send to Colleen and to your office the form that's used for that. But I do need to warn you that a lot of the lenders are not approving RON yet. The state of Arizona has approved it, but some of the lenders are not quite ready to do that. But we are ready to go for that.
Awesome. That's a great update. We appreciate that. Awesome. All right, Miss Lisa Sullivan, do you want to let everybody know about quarterly meeting coming up?
Yes, sir. Our quarterly meeting is July 24th. The actual meeting is from 8:30 to 9:30, and right now we're trying to put a panel together to do handling objections. I think that in this market right now, it's critical that you have some skills in that area. So if anybody would like to volunteer that is good at handling objections, give Kayla or I a call, and we'll get you on that panel. The other thing, that the CE class runs from 10 to 1. That is on diversity, which again is critical in today's things going on today. So make sure you register for that. You cannot register on the day of the class, so make sure you do it prior to the 24th, and it will fill up quickly. There's only 100 spots, so please register quickly if you'd like to attend that. On the 29th, I believe, the last Wednesday of the month, we're going to be doing a broker hour during the normal team meeting time that's going to talk about our transition. It's from dot loop to command. That entire hour will be focused on the ways that you can start using it to the best of your ability, and we'll put together a list of an agenda for that for you. Let's see, tomorrow we're going to do a broker class from 1 to 2 on critical dates and multiple counteroffers. Again, those are things that we have seen issues with in the last couple of weeks, so we want to address those and get you your skill set up on that. What else? The dot loop privacy opt-out. A lot of you have seen emails and posts about that. I have Cindy checking into whether or not she can do it for the entire market center versus every single agent having to do it themselves. I'll have an answer for you by about noon today. And if we find out we can, we'll let you know. And if we find out we can't, we'll also let you know. Either way, we'll make sure that it gets taken care of today. And what else? Make sure your clients are checking into flood insurance. I know Jody's been really helpful on that and has sent some information out to people. Make sure that you check with your insurance carrier or have your clients do that. The runoff from the fires, the recent fires, is going to cause some flooding in areas that have never experienced flooding before, and certain types of damage will not be covered under normal homeowners insurance. So please make sure to check into that if that's a concern to you or your clients. And last thing, showing time. It did take effect on June 23rd. Every listing is opted in automatically. Excuse me. So if you want to opt out of that, you need to go in and check that on your listing profile, and then also learn how to use it at a high level. It's a benefit to you. It will ease your life in all kinds of dramatic ways. David can attest to that. So please learn to use that and take advantage of things that we have available to you.
And by the way, showing time, your knowledge of showing time is a value proposition to gain sellers.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's going to be a lot of agents, I think a lot of you would agree, that are going to be in old school, the way we've always done it, and they're going to want to do it their way. And you're going to be able to be technologically advanced and talking about now, after a year, that's not going to be as much of a value proposition because more people will buy into it. Although right now, the ones that buy into showing time, and I will tell you that our team in San Antonio, they would never do anything without it. Every once in a while, they'll put me on a listing and it pops up and tells me showing requested, showing approved. It tells me the inspections scheduled. It tells me the appraisals scheduled. I literally get text messages only when I do like a personal referral over there. Is they put my name, they'll put it on the text messaging. So I'll only get them like personal referrals, but I get them. And so it gets the seller up to date, and it's a leverage piece so you can do more business. So it's going to give you a value proposition at your listing appointments, because there's going to be a lot of agents. They're going to go, oh, I'll do it my way. And so just embrace it right now. Tom, our lead buyer's agent in San Antonio, some of y'all met him. He's that 6'6" dude that hangs out with me when he comes in town. Tom's actually going to do a Zoom call, trying to figure out how to make it so he can show you, and he's going to do a class, just a show and tell on how to use it. So now that we know it's going, I'll get on the schedule and just show up to it. Just sit and watch him do it. He'll play around with it and show you how it works. So
awesome. I would this group of fine realtors and leaders are not resistant to technology, right? Any changes? No, we embrace technology. We run towards changes. So thanks for that. Appreciate it. Next up, David, stay on the screen.
Yep.
Bold is back. All right.
All right, so guys, I'm just going to kind of do these two in a nutshell of two things coming up, and they seem conflicting and they're not. So we have Bold Pivot coming on August 4th. This isn't the same Bold Pivot as before. This is a different Bold Pivot. A lot of common material. Anytime you go to any great training, a lot of it, it's the same message a lot. Big adjustments is going to be in the coaching corner. We're also going to be creating accountability groups. So Bold starts August 4th. Next, go ahead and flip to the next screen. Ignite starts on August 3rd. They're running parallel. Now, if you are, and I can hand this to Dan in a second, I probably just I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. If you have never gone to Ignite, you are a newer agent in the last 6 months, you need to go through the boot camp of real estate. Bold Pivot is not boot camp. Bold Pivot is accelerating, is just one pass Ignite, is where you're going to put the pedal down, 100% go on it. So if you need to go to boot camp and you need to go through the basics, and Dan has probably already reached out to a lot of you that are doing this, Ignite is the one for you. If you're ready and you've done Ignite, you've done 5 transactions, you've done some things, you've been through Ignite before, then you're going to want to go to Bold Pivot. Now, Bold Pivot starts on August 4th. Now you can go ahead and let it go to the screen. Just go full screen if you don't mind, Kayla. So this is where I want to go with this. If you need to go to Ignite, you need to get with Dan. And Dan, how do they get for Ignite? Anything you want to add to that I missed on there?
Well, Ignite's going to be very much so centered around command. So, even with the 4 or 5 deals out there, it's still going to have a lot of great course material. So if you're lacking in a certain area, you might want to look at the schedule when Kayla gets that put out there and attend that class. We're going to have some pretty powerful teachers out there, great leaders in this company, mega agents, mega team owners. It's going to be a lot of great insight that we may not have gotten otherwise. So Ignite is going to be fantastic for new agents or agents that are looking to develop their business and grow. It's going to run kind of in the same time as the Bold Pivot. The Bold Pivot's going to be, paramount for those agents who have taken Bold before, took the Bold Pivot this first time, but didn't really get the full value out of it. That we've retuned it, retooled it to make sure that it's more impactful for you. It's going to be worth the investment. It's going to be worth your time. When it comes to Ignite, there is no official sign up for it. We'll have a roster put out soon. We're going to be creating the actual course list for our online access to it and make it easy. If you have questions about what's going to be taking place in the class, what's the time investment of the class, and of course the cost of the Ignite class, give me a call directly or send me a text.
Now, if you're going to be a part of Bold Pivot, you're going to go into my accountability group. Now, Bold Pivot this time is going to be more than just that Monday call where it was like refresher and what you're doing. Bold Pivot. So if Jay and I purchased 30 registrations already for Bold Pivot. So right now I'm creating a group of 30. Now, if you want to do Bold Pivot, you're going to be a part of my accountability group. It's going to be 1 extra hour with me a week on a Zoom call, and you're going to have to track all your numbers. Okay? You have to track your numbers. You're going to set goals during it. It's going to be full throttle of getting listings and gaining market share. Now, if you're light on listings and you want to focus on buyers too, it's about regaining momentum. This is going to be a very intensive Bold Pivot for anybody who does it this time. Okay, so you're going to be it's going to be a smaller group. Now, if we sell all 30 and we have more that'll do it, then we'll go and get some more tickets. That's fine, not a problem. 2 things. 1, if you get a guest who is a non-Keller Williams agent to do Bold Pivot, we'll pay for yours for free. Now, as soon as they get registered and they commit and we talk to them and they say, yeah, I'm all in, and you got to make sure they go and they show up to the weekly group, the accountability group. Once again, this is not just a 1 hour hangout, talk, etc. Is there a part of it? I'll pay for your ticket. If you do not have a guest, no big deal. Then I want you to register for Bold Pivot, and then we'll give you your $99 back at your closing. It's somewhere, I haven't decided exactly when, but a transaction that comes out of Bold Pivot, basically. We just give you your $99 back at closing. Not a big deal, okay? So don't think if you have any questions on this, it's conflicting. If you're newer, less than a year in the business, you need that boot camp. Command will be taught in Bold Pivot. It will not be taught at the level it is in Ignite, though, I will tell you. I just got off of taking a bunch of classes on Command. And honestly, guys, we are sitting on a gold mine of opportunity here. So coming up right now, you got an opportunity to take 1 or 2 directions you can go. Either way you go, we only have 30 spots, really. We'll probably do a 30 spot for the Bold Pivot group. So Dan, Jay, anything to add to that? Anything to cover in there, et cetera?
No, I think you
I just put in the chat that every single agent would benefit from being in one of those 2 classes.
Yeah.
Now's the time to refocus, jump in.
So David Urbaniak, great job. I appreciate it. I love you. Thanks. Great to have you in there. Is if you go get a guest, or you can go ahead and pay for go to tell the Market Center and they'll put it on your bill. We went ahead and bought a bulk package. So I guess email me, David. Yeah, let's do that, guys. Email me, tjonesjr@kw.com. You want to be on the 30? It's going to be my group, literally. And I'm looking to take people and you're going to goal set. Ignite's going to do the same thing. Ignite's just going to be foundational. Would you agree with that, Dan?
Absolutely.
So if you've never done a listing appointment, you're going to probably want to do Ignite. If you've never written a contract, you want to do Ignite. If you get in a Bold Pivot and you don't know a lot of these foundational things, we may not slow down enough to teach you. So that means you need to be doing Ignite. Would that pretty well explain it, Dan?
Yeah, I think you did a great job with the threshold. 5 or 6 deals is really where you start building a competency with the documents and the system and process there. So if you find yourself lacking in some of those areas, Ignite is definitely going to be a great foundation for you to launch your career and get some insight. If you're already past kind of that beginning threshold, you're already out of the gates, already running, Bold's just going to supercharge your race car. Let's get it going. I think it's super important that you either engage in one or the other. Right now, I know that we're all super focused on our successes. We can see that with our numbers increasing and having record months. Let's keep this wave of productivity going, and let's just trust the numbers. Let's create this buzz around Keller Williams, and it's all by engaging in the things that we have out there for all the agents and developing. So good stuff coming, guys.
And also when it comes to the guests, we would love to have guests filled in there, because right now what I'm hearing is that nobody is really getting into the agents' faces on productivity. And, you know, I say get into your face nicely. Well, sometimes, right, Colleen? So sometimes it's nicely. So my point is, there's a big lack out there. Our market share at Keller Williams went up last month while others went down, which is telling me that we've got to get more guests over here and show them and get them in production and get them off the couch. Netflix, binge watching, which I've been a little guilty of, I'll admit. So,
all right.
All right. I think we covered that enough. Jay's right. Everybody in here. And last thing is on the roster, we have taken the roster and divided it out by all the different levels and all that. So don't be surprised you get a call. You will be getting a call saying, how you doing? You're on my list. Have you thought about Boulder Ignite? You're going to get a call. We're going to talk to you about that. Don't ignore us. Don't hit ignore now, please.
Nobody ignores us.
And call them back. So, all right, Jay, you got the floor.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
going
you.
to real quickly move to Allie Pastori. She's got a safety tip, but she's got to jump to an appointment. So, Allie,
Okay,
you can do that real quick? Unmute and jump in.
Okay.
Perfect. Hey, Allie.
Hey guys. So thanks to Kayla, we are back on the safety. So our first tip for this week's meeting is to identify a potential threat by observing behavioral cues. And we don't want to give our own advice because that can be misconstrued and people can be held liable for things, but we do want to be the source of the source. So I'm going to put 3 links into the chat box that go into different reasons and ways to look out for things that people are doing that are kind of weird that might lead to something, or just ways to make yourself a little safer, like in an open house or showing situation.
Excellent. We definitely want to pay attention because obviously we've seen that some bad stories of multiple interactions, especially at open houses. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. And so this is going to be a habit for you, Allie, to bring a safety tip?
The culture committee will bring a safety tip. So we'll switch it up. But yeah, we all get so comfortable. We do this every day. So we just have to remember that there's bad people and bad situations, and we all have to stay aware. Don't get too comfortable.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. All right, let's jump back to Cindy. You're going to talk about a big event that's coming up pretty soon. Go to the mega camp slide, please.
Wait, Jay, you know what? I pulled that. I told him to drop that slide just because we have too much right now. We're going to focus on Bold Pivot and Ignite right now. So I don't want to get too.
I will give my MCA tip though, Jay. Will that work?
Yep.
So it's July. Today is July 15th. Your taxes are due if you haven't already mailed them in. It's time to think about your budget. And I know for some people, budget can be a 4-letter word. If you're new to the business, the idea of budgeting and goal setting might be a little bit overwhelming, but it's a really good time to ask yourself what goals you set for the beginning of the year. And do you need to readjust due to COVID? Have you reached those goals? Have you exceeded those goals? We just went through this with both market centers, and we had to report those goals to the region, and then they reported to KWRI. And so we had to sit down and look at what goals did we set for the year, and what are we going to do between now and December to reach that goal or adjust that goal due to the circumstances that we've had. So my question to you as an MCA, when I think about all the agents that are in the business of real estate, is what are you doing now to determine your wealth for the end of 2020? And as David mentioned earlier, binge watching Netflix is probably not going to put any money in your pocket. So the resources that we have available for you at the market centers through Ignite and through Bold Pivot, and also just pick up the MREA book and read about the economic model and the budgeting model. If you're new to this, educate yourself and get started. It's never too late. As they said in the movie Moonstruck, Olympia Dukakis says, "You're never too old till you're dead." So none of us on this Zoom call are dead. I can see you all smiling, and some of you are even moving. So now's the time to set your goals for the rest of the year. reevaluate, look at the direction that you're heading. And if you need help, I'm here for you. The leadership staff is here for you. Jay is amazing at goal setting in 411. Dan in the coaching program is awesome. David through Bold Pivot is going to be great. Lisa will help keep us in compliance. Heather will help you with your tech. Kayla will love on you and make you feel better about yourself. Cheyenne will make sure that you get paid on time. Tiffany will send you sweet reminders to make sure you're in compliance. And our front desk staff will answer your phone calls and send you to the right place that you need to be. So don't forget us. We're here for you, and you're not alone in this. Take it away, Jay.
All right, awesome. That was succinct. Way to go, Cindy. Let's move to Jesse Rojas.
Just right. I just want to say, Cindy, that was excellent. I like that accent. We need more of it.
Yeah, we don't need to encourage Cindy. Let's not do that.
You're funny, Jay. Well, anyway, never mind.
Okay, let's okay, Kathy did her tip earlier. So let's go to Jesse's or Kathy did her update earlier. Let's go to Jesse Rojas with a tech tip.
Kathy also has a culture tip. Kathy was talking earlier about the task force, but she also has a culture tip for the Market Center as well.
Roger that. Perfect.
Thank you. When I was looking back through the KWRI culture list and also the principles in bold, and a lot of them are starting to come alive, I think, even the more. And so I just wanted to encourage everyone, just to piggyback a little bit on what Cindy said, listening before you act, earning before you spend, waiting before you criticize, and trying before you quit. Now, I know Bold teaches us, there is no try, but I also wanted us to be reminded that one of the major Bold principles that has been standing out in my mind, and I want to encourage the Market Center about, is change your thinking, change your world. And whether it's through pivot, through shifting, anything that shifts in our business, it begins with a shift in our mindset or our way of thinking. So that is a practical life principle that we can not only apply to our business, but to our personal life as well. So change your thinking and change your world. We can do this.
Yes, I love it. Thank you, Kathy. That is a strong piece of advice, one that we need to be paying attention. We had that conversation yesterday, and I love the passion that we have moving forward. So thank you for that. Okay. So I think we're on the path back. Jesse Rojas. I saw Jesse in here.
I'm here. How's it going, guys?
Good.
So the tech tip this week is centered around designs. We got a few. We have 5 different latest additions to our design section. Now, the reason why the designs section exists, or the design applet exists in Command, is to help us gain some mind share. So we can think of designs, especially in this case, for content for social media. We can also use these designs as backdrops or the little piece of media for our Facebook ads. All these things are here to help us gain that mind share with all of our sphere, with our social media contacts and other such things. So if we could go ahead and click through the different templates that have been added to our designs applet, you can see that some of these are actually really beneficial, especially if you're going to look towards recruiting new agents coming in. Some might not even have any idea what the MREA energy plan looks like, and you can send that to them. Perfect stay-at-home day challenge. People are at home. I mean, in California, it's coming down to that. So if you have friends out there, maybe you can shoot them one of these just to let them know that you're thinking of them. The next one, fears and facts. This is definitely a design you can use to bring some insights into what it is to buy a home, address the fears, give them the facts, those kind of things. And then, of course, we want to recognize that the leaders do look to the future with this. And if you want to have people buy in and actually trust you and what you're doing as an agent for them, be that leader for them, you can send them this right here. So designs are huge, guys. Make sure you're using them to capture that mind share. Use them in your Facebook ads. Use them in your social media posts, and you'll gain that. Thanks so much, everybody.
All right, thanks. Thanks so much, Jesse. We appreciate it. If you're not taking advantage of that, the designs feature. It's super easy. So jump in, grab a hold of it. All right, last couple slides, and then we've got a guest that's going to, or not a guest, we've got our Chief Poobah ready to lead us. So Cindy, do you want to hit our leaders in the clubhouse for last month for listings?
I would be so happy to do that. Let me just say one quick thing. I did find out that the MCA can send emails from the KLRW email to Dotloop, and that will allow everyone associated with those accounts to opt out. So I will get that taken care of today for everybody. So we'll opt out of data sharing in Dotloop as market centers.
Perfect.
And then we'd like to move into, we decided this week to focus on listings. And why listings? What is so important about getting a listing? Well, I have this little book here. I don't know if anybody's ever read it.
What's that?
Did you see the book? Can you see it? I know it's kind of dark in here.
Yeah, it is.
And it may be backwards. Anyway, it's called The Millionaire Real Estate Book. It's been around for a little while. You know, some really smart people got together and wrote it, and it's got some good stuff in it. So on page 101, it talks about the importance of getting listings and how listings are your leverage. And one of the quotes that I found in here, it says, listing makes the business and signs are your best source of leads. So as we look at the city of Tucson and the surrounding areas, and we want to make our presence known as Keller Williams Southern Arizona, the best way to do that is to have more signs in the ground. Listings are so important for your business. That's how you get leads, more leads for your business. So we just thought we might highlight some of the top 10s for listings taken volume for the month of June. Now, if you'll remember, listings taken that's the future of our business. If it says listings closed, then that means it's already happened and we can't take that back. It's done. So for June, the listings taken volume, our top 10 in groups were Danny Roth, Stratton Real Estate, Team Integrity, and that got caught off there, powered by the Chris and Cole group. The Josh Berkeley team, Holston Results, Anthony Boatner team, Jones Real Estate team, Smith's Real Estate team, Stonehouse Group, and the Sean Edgar team. Now, for the category of group in Keller Williams, that means there are more than two. So there are 3 or more. That makes a group. If you just have 2 people, that's considered a team in Keller Williams. It doesn't matter if you call yourself a team or a group. We just count the number of people involved, and that's how we get these groups. So these are our top 10 for Keller Williams Southern Arizona for the month of June, and listings taken volume. So can I have the next slide? These are our top teams. So this is 2 people or more. The TJK team, the Clark & Company team, James and Nikki Servos, Schulte Real Estate Group, and Carlton Real Estate team are our top teams for listings taken volume in the month of June. And then the next slide are listings taken for individuals across both market centers. Whitney McClellan is the top listings taken volume for KWSA, Colin Brennan, Tracy Castell, Maria Ziff, Kelly Garcia, Zach Allen, Kathy Boston, Anthony Sotelo, April Richards, and Lara Ludwig. So these are our top listing agents in this market center for the month of June.
Way to go, guys.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Way to go, everybody, really. So this is the future for you, and when these close in about 30 to 45 days, if you're close to someone on this list, 1, congratulate them for taking a listing, and 2, they're going to be the ones with the cash in their pockets. So if you need a little loan, you know, you might look to them.
I'm probably going to get arthritis from signing so many checks.
Yeah, you will. Absolutely.
Love it. Hey, I love doing that. That's fantastic. Hey, great job, everyone. We want to make sure that listings are on the frontal lobe of your mind. And I agree with Cindy. That's the future of the business. And we know how hard it is to get listings right now. So congratulations, guys. Way to go. Way to get
it. You can take listings in this market when the market is just booming again. It's hard to get people to want to sell their house if they think that, you know, they could get sick and die right after they sold. So yeah, if you're able to take listings in a tough market, you're going to do great when the market's booming for listings. So.
Awesome. Very good. All right, let's transition. Mr. Jones has some.
So Kayla, give me or Heather, give me permission to share if you don't mind.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome David Jones.
Hello, hello.
Welcome David Jones.
All right, so guys, and just to give you a little hint, can y'all see does it say Dominate Your Farms on here?
Yep.
Okay. And just give everybody a hint, I'm not going to toggle back and forth between shared screen and not shared screen. If you feel like I'm on a screen that you don't want to see anymore and you want to see my pretty face, by the way, these lenses have, they get rid of a few wrinkles. So I got these cool cameras that gets rid of wrinkles. So if you want to see my face bigger, all you got to do is double click on my face and it'll swap and make the PowerPoint small and my face big. And then when I go back to the PowerPoint, you can double click back on the PowerPoint, it'll swap them. So just give you a little hint on how you can do that coming in here. But what I want to talk about today is, and this is a perfect amount of time to cover on listings. I'm not going to go like into major depths. You're going to have to continue after this. And listings is a game right now. Is anybody on here? And since I'm not on the big grid of people on here, getting some interaction would be very good. Anybody on here had any trouble getting a buyer, having challenges getting a buyer at property?
Yeah.
Who's that? Like I said, I can't see all your hands. I can only hear your voices. Anybody else? Have you been in a competitive situation where you couldn't get a buyer? You lost out on a buyer maybe once, twice, or even more. Who's had that?
I have multiple. This is Tracy.
I
I've lost multiple.
Teresita,
So-
lost multiple.
Right. So it's an easy question to ask right here in the market because we're seeing it all the time. You're probably putting together offers that are that you're having the loan officer call the listing agent and tell them how good your buyer is. You're having the buyers write letters. All those things. Now, what's that?
I shoot a video of my client. She's a nurse, and I send videos with a letter.
Yeah. So here's the moral of the story. Who's really the person that's running the business right now?
Sellers.
Sellers.
There you go, Tracy. The listing agents.
Yeah.
Therefore, let's see if we can change our avenues. And now, if you're working with buyers to fill your gaps of income, perfectly fine. But we all know that, right now, if you're the people that are taking a lot of listings are probably sleeping a little bit less stressful. They're not fighting so hard to get deals every day. And so I want to get our head around this game around the mindset around listings. So let's talk about this. What is the mindset of great listing agents? This is the interactive part of the show. What is the mindset of great listing agents? Somebody who takes a lot of listings, is very focused on it. Talk to me about their mindset. Well, how do they think? How do they act? Tell me about their mindset.
They're extremely disciplined.
Okay, so listing agents are disciplined. Got it. All right, what else?
They have a Nike mindset. Just do it.
Man, that is great, Donna. Class is over. We can end the class right there. They have a Nike mindset. I like that.
You're welcome.
Because you're right. They just do it. They don't, and it's almost like it's not a mindset. They just do it. They don't think, do they?
Right.
Okay. What else?
Money's in the follow-up.
Money's in the follow-up. Ryan, great job. Good to see you on here, buddy. Money's in the follow-up. It's follow-up. Okay. What else is a key component? And maybe Justin's mindset. Let's go into component or characteristic of great listing agents. Give me some more. I really want more interaction. We got a lot of people on this call. Give me some more.
Not afraid to ask for the business.
Okay, they're not afraid to ask for the business. All right, keep going, please. I want to hear more. There's more to this. This is good conversation. They're also very learning-based.
Yeah, I was just about to say they're willing to invest in themselves.
They're willing to invest. They're willing to find skills. If you remember Dave Norberg last week, tell me something you got from Dave Norberg as it pertains to this subject right here.
You need to practice your scripts, and you need
Boom. Need to practice their scripts. Need to practice their scripts. He believes in scripts. Nothing about Dave Norberg was he scared to go invest and fly in a plane and go visit somebody. Was he scared to do that?
Nope.
He was not. So you've got to go, and here's where I'll go on the buyer side. Buyers are typically more relational based. Sellers are more business based. Business means discipline, means skills. You know, I had a great conversation with an agent in the office 2 days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. I'm getting confused now. And we were talking about how words matter. And so I want everybody to think about the words you use and the words you don't use, and how in today's market, are people a little bit more on edge than ever before? This is where everybody's allowed to unmute themselves. I give you permission and speak up.
Yes.
Yes. People a little on edge. Now, I'm going to give you a quick story. I heard this story from a San Antonio agent the other day, and it was I interviewed him on the Bold Pivot. And by the way, Bold Pivot, if you sign up for it, they're doing every Wednesday. We are. I say they because I did it last week. They're doing a coaching corner every Wednesday for an hour. So you can jump on there. They're coaching right now on Bold Pivot. So you go ahead and sign up. I already got like 7 emails just during the conversation a while ago of being on Bold Pivot. He told a story, and he had an agent that wanted to go door knocking. And I'm going to listen to this story carefully because this is going to lead us into, you got to be more than just good lead generator today, because you may lead generate and you may get a hold of somebody and you may think they hate you and they're just really kind of have a lot of anxiety about the day of the market, and you find out they're really not a bad person. Anybody ever had that happen? They may have jumped in your face or said, "What do you want?" or something like that. So he was telling a story about going door knocking. Had a new agent that wanted to go door knocking for the first time. And I want everybody to listen carefully to this story. This is not just an arbitrary story. So he went wanted to go door knocking for the first time. So this guy named Scott Maloof, some of y'all may have heard his name. He's a very popular, bold, does a lot of bold videos. And Scott goes, "Well, I'll take you door knocking." He was helping a young, brand new agent, first time door knocking. Guy went door knocking. First door he knocked on, the guy comes running out of the side yard. The guy door knocks a couple times. The guy comes out of the side and comes running at him with a rake in his hand and runs him out of his yard, literally running at him with a rake. Now, this is the guy's first door he ever knocked. So the guy is freaked out. First door he's ever knocked, freaked out. Scott talked to the guy, said, "Look, let's just keep going. I can promise you it doesn't happen very often, and let's keep going." So he kept door knocking. They finished door knocking for the day. Scott kind of farmed that area, which I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. And so Scott went back to that neighborhood to door knock it again. And Scott goes, "I'm going to door knock that guy's house." Some of y'all are probably like that. I see Jason's picture up here. Jason would do that. He look at us. So Scott goes to the door again. Door knocks on the door. The guy comes running out the front door, screaming at him, saying, "Get out of my house. Get off my yard. I'm going to call the cops, or I don't know what he yelled, actually." So yelled at him again and ran him off his yard. Scott kept door knocking. He went around, door knocked, got to a neighbor, and the neighbor says, "Yeah, we are interested in selling," and actually set a listing appointment. Scott started talking to the neighbor a couple days later, and he says, "Hey, what's going on with the guy across the street?" He goes, "That guy seems kind of crazy." And the neighbor goes, "Yeah, he is. He's a little off right now." So, "Did you hear what happened?" And Scott goes, "What do you mean? I don't." He goes, "Yeah, about 3 months ago, his daughter killed his wife." Now, here's the moral of the story. You never know what people are going through. Wow. We judge the people, and he has something going on in his life, and you never know what people are going through. And so be careful on judging them. When you're lead generating, the number one skill. I heard Tony DeCello one time. He was one of the best coaches I've ever known in my entire life. They asked Tony DeCello, who coached the top agents in the entire country. They asked Tony, "How do you prepare for coaching calls?" He said, "I only do one thing. I prepare to listen." So every time you go and you're in an interaction with somebody, words matter, listening matters, and don't get defensive by their reactions. Just sit and listen and ask good questions, because you never know what somebody's going through. And I want to tell you, in this market right here, are there people in this market that need to sell their house and they just don't say it because some reason like pride or ego, or they're just scared of what the world's going on right now? Are there people that may need to sell their house right now that don't come out and say it out of the gate? Is that possible? What do y'all think?
Yes.
All right, I got a few. I got.
Absolutely.
You can only see a select number of pictures, so the hand shaking. So yes, there are, and so we've got to learn how to get past some of these questions. The way you do it is by questions. Now, I'm gonna give you some things to think about. That if you're lead generating a lot, you don't feel like you're getting results. You may want to think about some words you're using. Some words I would remove from your vocabulary are the words why and the words how. So like, let's say Daniel and I were having this conversation the other day, and we were talking about lead generating with an expired, for example. He was calling some expires that day, and he seemed like they were just a little more on edge than normal. And I don't know if he used the word why. So we started talking about this word why. An example was, why did your house not sell? The word why, just so you know, and you need to take note of this, the word why automatically puts people in defense mode. It's instinctive in the brain. You get home past curfew. You're 17 years old. You get home, your dad said be home by 10, and you get home at 11. And dad goes, why are you late? You automatically go in defense mode. Have I got it? So I want you to start, instead of using the words why or how, I want you to start using words we're using the word what and who. So what do you think caused your home not to sell, and who do you think could help you sell it? Or who would you choose to sell if you did choose to sell? So I want you to start using those great things. So that's kind of the mindset around here. And I didn't, we could probably have a whole class on covering mindset. What I want to get your brain around, though, is focusing on listings and strategies for getting more listings. Now, I'm going to give you a kind of a basic concept here. And I'll attempt to make it interactive. We'll see how good you are. What are buyers looking for? Some of y'all have heard me talk about this before. Some of y'all may get it pretty good. What are buyers looking for?
Place to live.
Yeah, okay, they're looking for a home. Thank you, Jason. Choices. And you probably heard me talk about this. They're looking for a home, a place to live. What are sellers looking for?
A solution.
Let's get very granular.
Money.
Sellers are looking for a buyer. They're looking for somebody to buy their house. Would y'all agree?
Yes.
I mean, I know I just went to a very, very granular level. So this also goes in the mindset of a great listing agent. If you want to attract most people, when you do an open house, you're going to attract mostly what when you do an open house? What are you going to attract mostly?
Buyers. Nosy neighbors and buyers.
You can attract buyers. Looky-loos as well. You can attract buyers. Now, here's where you got to swap it. And I'm going to go into these things called the 4 farms. I'm going to introduce it to you. I'm going to kind of give you some ideas. I'm going to go through fairly quick because I know you can see the time. Is your language needs to be more about talking about buyers than houses. If you want to attract sellers, talk about buyers. So if you have a buyer, and I'll give you an example of this, and we could actually this could be the subject for today, is if you go out and take the screen off just for a second. Go ahead and flop this. Oh, I got it actually. I'm sharing. That's me. Good job, Kayla. So let's talk about this concept really quick on here. All right. So sorry, I'm gonna do something different on my screen here so I can see you. There we go. Got it. So if you're lead generating, and one thing we talk about is the number one source of business is your database. And if you want to attract more sellers, talk about buyers. So here'd be an example of that. Who in here has a buyer that you can't find a house? You can't find a house for. Anybody on here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
A lot of people on here. You got a buyer you can't find a home for.
Yes.
How do you go and attract? Now, I want you to think about door knocking for a second. You go door knocking, and you door knock on a house, and you tell the seller about an open house you're having. Now, is it possible you go door knock that house, and they say, no, I don't know what I was looking to buy, and they leave the open, and you leave that door knock, that home, and that seller actually needs to sell. Is it possible that he needs to sell and he didn't tell you? Is that possible?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It is very possible. So today's market, here's the magic I want to get to you. And by the way, I'm going to stick on mindset and this basic stuff right here, and then I may cover the other. I got a whole slide deck I can do of other things. This right here may be the best thing you get out of here. How do you get that seller? Today's market, even though it's really hot, listings are incredibly low, is incredibly skill driven right now. The skill of finding people that need to sell and the skill of you getting a buyer to find a home. Can y'all see that, by the way? We're in a skill market right now. This is the reason we're so confused. Because on paper, we're in a seller's market. But in reality, we're in a skill market, which is usually a buyer's market. Have I got that? So what you say matters and how you say it matters. So let's go to that door knock. And I'll knock on that door. And they go, hey, my name is David Jones with Keller Williams Realty. We're doing an open house around the corner. You know the Joneses. You've probably seen the Joneses. They got the Tahoe. And by the way, that is really what you want to do. Well, yeah, we've seen the Joneses. We've seen their Tahoe. I don't know them very well. Well, the Joneses are selling their home. Now, most people talk about the open house. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
What I want you to talk about is that we expect to have around 20 to 30 buyers come through this open house. Inventory is in record lows, which means that around 20 or more buyers will not be able to buy that house. And I wanted to come and check with the neighbors to see who, if you're by chance looking to sell your home, that I can tell the buyers about. Have I got it? Now, that little shift will get, and if you have anybody that's thinking about selling, there's a really good chance they would say something. What's a good response you can get? If they're just thinking about selling, what's a response you could possibly get?
Is it really that low of an inventory? I wonder what I could get from my house.
Boom, there you go. Randy, that's right on. And they may ask it almost exactly like you just said it too. Like almost like a curiosity, like, well, is inventory really that low? What do you think because everybody's home's for sale right now, right? if the right price or something. So they're like, well, what could I get? And then that is a clue. Now, so how you ask, that's very important. Now, if they say, no, we're not thinking about selling, you want to go to the second one. So I'm going to give you 3 questions to ask on any call you have. You call your sphere of influence. Hey, Donna, David Jones over here. How you doing? Donna talks to me like a friend. She goes, David, yeah, how you doing? Well, the reason I'm calling, it's a business call. And Donna's going to go, yeah, right. She may actually laugh. Y'all seen, I've done it. Give Donna, the reason I'm calling is I got about 4 buyers that I cannot find a property for. And they're kind of all over town, mostly in the Northwest. And I'm calling the people I know to see, do you know of anybody that's looking or thinking about selling their home that I could possibly match up with these buyers? Remember, guys, your only goal is to do this. Get them to put their hand up. Have I got it? That's your only goal. What you say matters. Now, you'll also notice I use embedded commands. Sell your home. Sell their home. So start understanding some of these skills. We teach these in bold. Some of y'all, my bold graduates, I see you on the screens, see it as well in here. And these skills are so important here as you go. So as you're making your calls, so question number 1 on a door knocker call, well, with a sphere of influence, okay, so a door knock, I would ask the owner, are you interested in selling your home that we could introduce to or match up with some of these buyers? Question 2 on a door knock would be, do you know anybody in the neighborhood that has shown any signs of selling their home? Now, you notice I didn't say, do you know anybody in the neighborhood looking to sell their home? Did y'all notice that? I said, do you know anybody in the neighborhood showing signs of selling their home? It's a pattern interrupt question. Because what will happen is they'll stop and freeze and go, signs? What do you mean by signs? Then you say, what would be a sign of somebody selling, by the way?
A wife moved out.
It's true. Yeah, it is true.
Getting their house painted.
A yard
Say that
sale.
again.
Getting their house painted, Kristen said.
Getting their house, painted. Yes, 100%. House painted, small repairs, a little bit of yard work. Those are all signs. And so you can go through it. Now, number 3 question. I'm going to give you all another question here that is a question, once again, get out of the norm of, are you looking to sell your home? Start looking to ask questions where you can see signs that they're a seller. Like Randy said, well, is inventory really that low? That's probably that is a sign they're curious. Have I got it?
Yep.
Now, so question 1 is, are you looking to sell your home? That can issue to buyers. Do you know any of the neighbors that have shown signs to sell their home? And the third question would be, says, well, just out of curiosity, if you were to ever move, where would you move to next? Guys, that is a magic question right there. Anybody ever use that one? I know some people, my bold graduates, Jason had a feeling. What were have you ever had a response and they gave you a direct answer?
I use it all the time.
Yeah, Zach, and what do they say? What kind of answers do you get?
Usually they're like, well, because they don't really want to answer it, and then they'll say, oh, well, we've been thinking about moving to Florida for quite some time now, or something like that.
Got it. Everybody hear that? What are you looking for? Give me some interaction here. You're asking a question, and you're doing what?
Listening.
Motivation.
And you're listening for signs. Now, whenever somebody says this, let me give you the last part of it. Somebody says, if you were to move, where would you move to next? And they go, we actually were thinking about going back to Florida where our family's from. The next question is, just curious, when would that be? Now, these series of questions are designed, once again, you call your database. Ask your database, hey, if you were to ever move. If I was asked Donna, if you were to ever move, because I know Donna real well. Donna, if you were to ever move, where would you move to next?
Denver, if I ever have a grandchild.
Boom. Yes. By the way, did y'all hear how quick the answer was?
Yep.
Try it on your friends. I forgot. It's right. You got family up there now. See, I just want to let everybody know. Dawn and I were just role playing, and I see her here, and I've known her forever. I know I can role play quickly with her. I asked her that, but did y'all see how instinctive that answer was?
David, I was thinking about it while you were talking about this, because 2 of my 3 sons are now in Denver. And there's this piece of me that goes, okay, I wouldn't move right now, but dang, if I ever have a grandchild up there, I probably will.
Yeah. And so I would ask you this then. Everybody go here. Now, this is where command comes into play. Donna, and when, I'm going to go finish the question. Donna, when would that be? Give me the real answer.
The real answer is not within 9 months.
Right. So the answer would be when a grandchild, you just said it.
A couple of years, probably.
So now when I check in on Donna, what am I asking her?
Any grandkids on the way?
Any grandkids on the way? Are y'all with me on this? Now, what if you built a database of 1,000 people and you started having these conversations with them constantly in your DTD2s, on your quarterly calls, and you knew that about them, and every time I called up Donna, I said, Donna, any good news? Everybody with me? Now, referrals go up. So what are you taking from this? I'm past 10 o'clock. Give me your ahas. Give me your takeaways. Give me some. I just want to know what you're taking from this conversation.
You need to be a successful listing agent. You have to move with intentionality. You've got to be.
Okay, you got to have intentionality.
Ask
Who else?
better questions.
Ask better questions. Anybody else?
Listen what they're telling you.
Yeah, listen to what we're telling you. Listen to their tonalities. And by the way, if they say this right here, if they go, well, you know what? The only time I remember I'm leaving this house is when it's in a pine box. My next question would be, and when do you think that would be? No, just kidding.
That's actually
funny. So. Any other? What are your takeaways?
This is Deborah. You're being more conversational, not interrogating them by asking, the type of questions you're asking about where would you move if you could, when would that be? Do you know anybody in the neighborhood that's showing signs of selling? I just think that's so much more than saying, hey, and you know, anybody that I could call
Right.
today to talk about buying, selling, or investing in real estate.
So if you have any buyers, anybody on here, here's my challenge you for this week. Couple thing is, post it on Facebook. Hey, everybody, as a real estate professional, inventory is incredibly low right now. Our organization, we have hundreds of buyers, or however you want to state it, that literally are looking to buy in the Pima County area. If you or anybody you know, do you know anybody who's looking to sell their home that I can connect? And just post it on Facebook. Get it out there. Start becoming an attraction to that. Next one is called, yeah.
Nancy just posted in the chat, yard sales. And I thought that's brilliant, big yard sales, because people are doing that on Facebook now also. There are groups of products out there, and that's a really good sign, Nance, that people are moving or thinking about it.
So what you say matters. The questions you ask should be designed to stimulate them to have an answer that is not the normal of, hey, are you looking to buy? Hey, you looking to sell? Who do you know? Who's ever been caught in that trap?
Yeah.
We all have. Think about how you can think and talk differently, like I just said. Hey, I got a buyer. If you got one buyer that's looking in a neighborhood and they can't find a home, call everybody you know and just tell them, I got a buyer that's looking to buy in the area of Northwest, like the Bluffs area or anywhere around there. They're pretty flexible now. Do you by chance know of anybody that's looking to sell their home that I could connect them with? You go, no, I don't know anybody. No. Crazy question. Are you guys looking to by chance sell? Because there's me and I got 400 other friends that I work with at Keller Williams that have the same challenges. Are you looking to sell your home? There's a chance we get a home sold quick. By the way, is that true, by the way? Listing right now, a fairly priced listing is selling right now. So, all right, words matter. Questions are important. How you ask it. Think about how you ask the questions and get out of the norm. Talk about buyers and low inventory until you can't talk anymore. If I got it? And just until you can't talk anymore. My challenge to you is go through, you start your database and call every single, find a buyer or two that you can't find a home for, and just call and say, we need to find a home for these people. Do you know anybody's looking to sell? And go through those questions. Don't forget about number 3. If you were to ever move, I'm just curious, where would you move to next? If I got it? We got to get into our language of listings, and you've got to, your success right now in the listings you take is based on how many people you talk to and what you say. If I got it? Time to get listing focused, guys. We got to get on to it. Bold pivot. I've already got a bunch of people said they want to do it. Love to have more people in there, be a part of my accountability group. We got Ignite coming up as well. Got some great instructors from there. A lot of good things, guys. You're no longer KW Cares plan is it's time to get. We care. It's not that I want to get us in production. It's time to move on, and it's time to get into listings, buyers, dealing with the world we have in here. Thanks for everybody's patience on what we're doing about have my check in. 2 things we want to know is who's there, and then check off they have no symptoms. This will pass. Let's go and just make sure we're supporting our families during this time. Everybody got it?
Yep.
Guys, we care about you. Just wanted to keep you safe and want you to make money at the same time. Have a great week, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks, David.
David,
great. Thank you.
Bye, you guys.